Welcome to Beyond the Mom Life, the podcast where motherhood and the business world collide, with your host, Heather Ioerger.
Welcome to the show, Amy Hartmann, who is the co-founder of So True Digital and co-host of the So True podcast. She brings a unique twist and approach to the digital marketing world. And we are just so excited to have her here today to teach us a little bit about marketing and talk about how being a mother has helped her in her business. Welcome, Amy.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Yeah, we are so happy to have you here today. And we are just excited for you to bring a lot of your experience to all the moms that are listening out there. You actually come from a different stage of life than some of our other guests. Some of our other guests have little kids, and you are in the stage of grown-up kids. Your youngest is in high school, right?
Yep. My youngest is a freshman in high school and
Yeah.
everyone else is an adult. So
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest, because I was like done and then
Yeah.
he was starting. So, here we go.
I love that. I love that. We did the same thing. We did the same thing. And I think a lot of people out there do that. I feel like when our kids were younger, we're like, oh my gosh, we cannot have another child. And then for me, my baby left for kindergarten. And I thought, oh yeah, no, I can't do this. I can't be at home and not
Yeah.
have a baby home with me. So was that the same for you?
No.
No.
No, so what happened was I had 3 boys and I really wanted a girl. So then I had a girl, my 4th one was a girl, and I was like, "Yay, we're done, family complete." And then surprise, I had the best surprise ever. Nicholas came along, and I always kind of joke because the year that Nicholas started kindergarten was the year that my oldest was in his senior year of high school. So I was like graduating one and starting one out, and it was kind of an interesting like life journey to go on. But yeah, no, Nicholas was
Yeah.
our total surprise. And we thought we were done at girl because I was like, yes, I got my girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then boy, and then another boy. And he's been the like biggest blessing, biggest joy of my life. But yeah, he's in high school. And so he's the only one who's I feel like sometimes still needs me, although the other ones do in different ways. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think it's such a myth that people think, okay, running my own business when my kids are little and they're home and I'm busy with them, like I can work during their naps. I can work when they're not fighting with their other siblings, or I can get things done when they're not around. What you don't realize is that even when they're older, they still need you.
Yes, they do. And I think it's different because obviously I can tell them like, "Hey, I'm recording." I actually have a on air sign that goes on the door. So it's like
Oh, I
if
love
I'm
that.
recording, if I'm with the client, it says I'm on air, so they know not to come in. But you kind of can't put them in a little box. Like I can't put them in their crib and say, "Stay here until I'm done," right?
Right.
They have their needs and they have their things and stuff happens and life happens and one day we had a flat tire, like all stuff
Yeah.
happens and you just have to roll with whatever it is they need in these new stages of life. And it's totally different and very fun, but also it's a different kind of juggling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting you say it like that too, because I think too, like when they're in their 20s, it's like they have an emergency and you're still like, okay, is this really an emergency? Like, do you
Right?
really need me right now? But yes, they still need their moms. That is the truth of the matter, right? So neither one of us are grandparents yet, but are
That's
you a
not
grandparent?
true. I
Oh, you
am.
are a grandparent. Oh my
I
gosh. Okay. I
am.
did not know that. Okay. So tell
I
me
keep
about
that one a
that.
little bit of a secret.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Like,
it's not a secret any longer.
I know, yeah, no, I have so my one of my sons was in the Air Force, one of my older
Yeah.
ones is in the Air Force, and he got married in his first year of being in the Air Force, like, just eloped, and then yeah, and then they had a baby, so he's 4 now. So I have a 4-year-old
Oh.
grandson, yeah, Jaden.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so he was a young dad, and I mean, I was a young
Yeah.
mom, so whatever, but yeah,
Yeah.
so I just try to tell everybody, like, "Shh, we don't talk about that."
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm very vocal about that. My daughter is getting married this summer, and I cannot wait to be a grandmother. So excited.
Yeah,
And that's gonna
I
be a
too.
whole 'nother learning curve, right? Of owning a
Yeah,
business, operating a business, and being a grandmother, because I think you still wanna be there with your grandkids and you still wanna be involved with your
yeah.
grandkids, and owning a business takes time that we need to learn how to deal
Does,
with.
and so for me, my son was in the Air Force, so he was stationed in New Mexico, and so was his wife. They were both in the military, and then they just got out and they moved about 2 hours away from me. So I still have like a little 2-hour drive to go, but I'm going.
Yeah.
Like we're going where we go, right? But
Yeah.
they're only a couple hours away where they had been far, far away. So
Oh, yeah, that's sad. That's a hard one.
yeah.
So let's jump into marketing a little bit. So
Yeah.
you are obviously a marketing guru, and you, I think, have some of the best advice for people in the marketing world. And so I really want to share that with people today. So let's talk about what is working right now and how can we use our kids in our marketing to actually help us scale our businesses?
Yeah, I love that. So when it comes to having little kids, a lot of people they go either one of two ways. They're either like, "Yes, I want to have my kids in my marketing," and that's like such a great way to bring people in. And then some people are like, "No, I don't want my children's faces on the internet." So I like to include them in ways that because people love kids, they love dogs. Children and dogs are like attraction magnets. So you can
Yes.
use them without putting their faces out there. I really feel strongly about that. So I was working with someone the other day and she was saying, well, I always have my daughter with me because she's little and I don't have daycare for her. So we're always together. And I was like, well, then she's your little assistant. Like I've got my little
Yeah.
assistant with me today and put her in the videos and talk about it, but show her from behind, right? Like show the head, the stroller, the whatever. And then talk about like I have my little assistant with me because she's very concerned about I don't want her on the internet. I don't want, but
Yeah.
children and dogs are so great. So if you have a dog, if you have a child, put them in there, especially if they're with you all the time, especially if that's part of your everyday routine. People need to get to know your life. People do business with who they know, like, and trust. And that's a way to get people to like you and trust you because you are doing all this stuff. You're running a business and you're a mom and you're making it all happen and you're juggling things. I just think it's a really cool way to incorporate our kids into what we do.
Yeah, I love that. And I've seen a lot lately of parents like showing the back head of their child or a
Yeah,
distant view of their child, just something that shows, hey, I'm a mom. This is what I
yeah,
do. This is my life. My children
yeah.
come first. That's how I do
And
things.
absolutely. So yeah, and this the same is true. Like it's a magnet for marketing because people love that concept and it's a way to visually set your boundaries so that people know that like the real life happens in my business and real life happens in your life. So if you're coming into my business and I'm serving you, you're my client, just know that real life sometimes happens and that's cool. We're not robots. We're not meant to be robots. They're not robots, you're not robot. Like it's totally cool for life to be messy.
Oh my gosh. And that brings us into today, right? Life happened while we were filming this podcast. So this morning, my son missed the bus. And that's not a normal thing that happens, but I'm a mom, right? I'm a mom first. And so
Yeah.
luckily, it's okay. People don't care if life happens, they respect that. And so
Yeah.
I was able to say to you, hey, guess what? My kid overslept and missed the bus. I'm going to be late. And so we have to remember as moms that those things are okay. And we're allowed to just apologize and move on because that is who we are. We are moms first and foremost. And I think that's a very important thing
Yeah.
to remember.
And
Yeah.
I almost don't feel like we have to apologize. I feel like we can be
Yeah.
grateful. So I can say thank you. Thank you for letting me be a few minutes late to get my son to school. I don't have
I
to
love
say I'm
that.
sorry that I was late for you because we don't have to apologize for who we are. We're moms first and we are
Yeah.
taking care of those kids that need us. And so we can be grateful that people give us grace without being apologetic to them. So that's something that's really big for me is I'm always just like, thank you so much for letting me have the freedom and the flexibility to do that.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And bringing this back to marketing, thinking about the things that are working in the marketing world right now, reels. You have taught me how important reels are right now. And I know that that really needs to be at the forefront of people's business. And so, talk a little bit more about that and how being a mom, we can incorporate those things into our lives as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So video is crucial right now. If you're not doing video, you're not getting seen very much. And the other beautiful thing about video is that it allows you to connect. So you can create a connection with someone without actually being present because you were present in the video, right? So you were present for that reel and it can live on and it can continue to exist out there for you. There's just so much AI content. I am not anti AI. Let me just preface that. Love AI, cool with it, but there's so much AI content that's static content because AI is like, write me a social post and it pops something up and you're like, copy, paste, done. Well, over the past year, so ever since ChatGPT came out, which was November of 2022, we have just seen this steady increase of content. So there's all this static content out there, and it is just too much for anybody to consume. And also, people aren't sure anymore if that's like you and you having an opinion, or if that's ChatGPT's opinion, or what it is, right? And so social media has really changed over the past year because of AI, which is good in a lot of ways, but it's not great if you're trying to still show up for your business and be seen. So video kind of cuts through all that noise because it's you speaking. It's really important for you to put your face out there on the camera. While I don't advocate for children being on camera, you've got to get out there. You've got to put your face on there because, again, know, like, and trust. I know, like, and trust you if I can see you, if I can
Right.
connect with you. If you're eye to eye looking at that camera, I can decide how I feel. It's like if you ever meet someone, you instantly know, do I like them or do I not like them? Like, you get a sense of it. And so people will see your personality come out, and that is really needs to be driving your marketing. It's how you cut through the noise. It's how you show up. It's how you get seen by people who don't know you, especially if you're using Instagram and TikTok, which are the two platforms that you need to be on, especially Instagram. That's how you're going to get seen by people who don't know you already, who are not your friends, who are not your followers. That's how we get the visibility that will allow us to convert and draw in more leads to our business.
So, one of the biggest things I hear from my clients is time, right? They feel like they don't have time to make all these reels. You see these creators, these influencers out there just creating a ton of reels, putting them out there, doing all the editing and everything that they have to do to get a good reel out there on the market. So, what do you recommend to us moms who are like, okay, we have an hour a month, maybe, right, to go out there and create some reels? How do we do that?
It is really hard. And so, of course, running a marketing agency that is a video first agency, we have a program called Real Returns that takes care of that, takes off your plate because you're going to come in, you're going to record, we're going to edit that, we're going to give you a month worth of stuff in 1 hour. That's not going to be for everyone. If you're just starting out your business, that might not be within your budget, that might not be where you are. And so I don't ever want to say, well, we can take care of that for you and not give you something that's going to help you out. So what I always say is batch content as much as you can. A lot of people try to do this daily thing where they're like, every morning I'm going to record my reel and get it posted. And it never works the way we want it to. We can't think of what to say in that moment. We have a million other things going on. Our kid is late for the bus, so we got to go take them. And now our morning is thrown off and we're late to whatever it was. And so what I always say is batch your content, set aside time, put it on your calendar. If you have littles at home, do it during nap time. Do it 1 hour and get as much as you can recorded. Come up with your topics ahead of time. While they're playing, you can be writing down topic ideas, come up with what you can, and then batch create that and then schedule it. That is the best way to get consistent with what you're doing. You've got to be posting daily reels. The social media world is like a news cycle. It has a 24-hour news cycle, and you've got to get something new out there. So creating daily is hard, especially when we're thinking about, well, Saturdays and Sundays, and those days are different. They're not the same schedule, right? So whatever you do, just be sure that you set aside time, create, and then post and let it go and let it work for you. You don't have to be in there every minute checking to see if somebody commented, how many people have viewed it, whatever. Kind of let it do its job for you, and then have time where you go back and check it to comment back to people who've commented or to reshare it or whatever you're doing. But get it out there on the platforms and then get back to your business.
I love that. I love that. So another big question I get from my clients is, what do I make the reels on? Are people really going to find what I do interesting? We talk to moms on this podcast about finding their passion in life. What is their passion in life and turning it into a business? So how can I take something that I am passionate about and turn it into multiple reels?
Yeah. So everybody thinks, because we have the influencers in the world, right? And we've got these people who are creating really creative things, and they're doing skits, and it's the back and forth. And how do I even know that? And the tech behind that. And do I have to memorize a dance? Like, no. What we need to do is make sure that we are giving people information on the tips and tricks, the how-tos. It's the basics. The things that you think everybody knows, they don't know. You know, because you're passionate about it. You know, because you have a business that does that, but they don't always know. So pick a tip, tell them why you started your business. Tell them why you're different. How are you different from your competitors? What are the things that really irritate you out there in the world that people are saying that are complete myths, that are totally not true, right? Those kinds of things are great content for you to show up with, and just do it straight to camera. Don't worry about, oh, I need to make up a skit and I have to have this whole series and I have to, no, you don't have to do any of that. And you can repeat yourself, right? You can say the same thing a different way next month. So if you're thinking, man, I already said that, I already told them that tip. Well, tell them that tip again and give a different example. Tell a different story. Tell client stories, right? We want to create visibility. At So True, we have our funnel, what we call our video funnel. And we take people through 3 stages where it's awareness, authority, and action. So we want to create visibility. We want to create awareness of who you are and what's interesting about you, about your business. And then authority is where you're really giving those tips. You're really helping people to know that you're great at what you do. You're so passionate about it, but you're really good at this. And so that's where you're bringing in client stories and testimonials and things that you did and all the things that you don't like and that you do like about what's being said out there, and giving people those tips. And then action is calling them to action. You have to ask for what you want. You have to tell people what you want them to do. So your content needs to fall kind of in those categories and rotate through them. That's really what's going to drive people back to your business. And then I would say drive them into your funnels. Get them out of social media. If they're scrolling, if they're busy scrolling, they're distracted. If they're in your lead magnet, if they're on your podcast, if they're on your blog, now you have their undivided attention. And that's where we want to take them. Give them that little tidbit that sends them to the good stuff, the juicy stuff, the podcast, the blog, the lead magnet. Put them there so that they're like really focused on you and what you have to say. And now you can have a real conversation with them, right? A conversation in which you can convert.
Oh, I love that. So much good information right there. It just reminded me of kind of a myth that a lot of my clients tend to talk about. And they say they're afraid to give too much information on reels or video content because they think that clients won't come to them and won't want to work with them. And it's not true, is it?
Not true. It's just like I said, we have a program that does all of this, but I know it's not for everyone. It's for some people. There are people in business that are ready for what you offer, and there's people who aren't. The people who aren't will get ready eventually. And so you have to stay top of mind and be giving them that information that's going to help them grow to the point where they can work with you. Because
Right.
when they get to the point where they can work with you, then they will. But we have to stop gatekeeping everything. When we give it all away, that's when your business actually explodes.
So good. So good. I absolutely love it. I will preface this by saying I am not a tax strategist. I am not an accountant. I am not giving legal advice by any means of the word. However, bringing our children into this, talk to your tax person, please. There
Yes.
are some benefits for you to do that. So keep that in mind. Look into that you can do some of these things with your children. Have your children help you. Have your children help you come up with ideas. Have them, if you don't want them in the video, that's fine. They can still help you come up with ideas. They can hold the camera for you while you're videoing, which also makes me think, what kind of equipment do I need? If I'm just starting reels, do I need to go out and purchase this $1,000 camera to start, or can I just grab my phone and just start making video?
Just your phone. Just pick up a phone
Oh,
and
so
record
good.
a video. You don't need anything special at all, and you can do it on the run. I always tell people, do it when you're out and about. Like, if you have an idea, and even if you're batch creating content, but you're out at the grocery store and suddenly you had an idea, or something reminds you, like I always talk about toilet paper math, and I don't understand toilet paper math. So I'm like, this is not real people math, right? So this is something I've actually done videos on, is like, why is 6 rolls equals 12 and 6 rolls equals 18 and 12 rolls equals whatever? And like, toilet paper math just really confuses me. And so I've done videos about that, and they take off and people have these conversations. And that's just me being real in the world of like, I don't understand any of this. I don't know what is going on here. Why is this the way it is? So if you have an idea, just do it that way. And a lot of people say, well, where do I record it? So you can record it directly on your phone and then upload it to the platforms. Or my favorite is to use the actual tools. So you can either use Instagram or TikTok. I love Instagram as a platform. It's my favorite platform for getting in front of people. I love TikTok's tool for recording better. So what I do is I'll create a video in TikTok and download it and then re-upload it over to Instagram. I don't push it because then it's going to have the TikTok logo and it will
Yeah.
get suppressed. So create it. You can actually download it without the logo straight out of their app. And then that way you can upload it. So that's how I do them when I'm out in the world, but just a phone. I mean, we do this for a living. We do our own recordings in our own studio, but still, if I'm creating content, I'm doing it from my phone. Like I'm not carrying around equipment.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. So you don't need any expensive equipment. I think,
Nope.
again, that's just a myth that we need to make sure we put out right now. So let's talk a little bit about the legacy that you're leaving for your children. So, how long have you been in business?
So we've had a business
Yeah.
since 2012,
Okay.
and we've sold and bought and done all kinds of things. We've had franchises, different things. So my husband and I work together. Um, in the marketing business, I've been running a marketing agency since 2015. So I don't know how many years that is. Feels like 9, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. So your children have really grown up though with you owning a
Yes.
business. So do you
Yes.
feel like this has taught them anything throughout the years of you owning a business? Have they learned from it? Is this what they want to do? Are they interested in marketing careers?
Okay, so they've learned a ton, and I'll address that in a second, but none of them want to run a marketing agency, have anything to do with marketing or any of the other businesses that we own. None of them are interested in that at all. And actually, they're all like, I just want to go get a job. Like, I'm just going to go and do my thing, right? That's kind of where
Yeah.
they are. My youngest one is really into programming. So he's like in honors programming in school and stuff like that. He's very much into like
Awesome.
robotics and programming. So I see him like in the future. I was talking to him this morning on the way to school. I was like, you could be like inventing the next big thing. Like you're so smart. And he's like,
Love
I
it.
think I just want to, he said something like, I think I'm just going to be a cashier at the grocery store. I'm like, you say it
That's
to irritate
fine.
me.
Yeah.
I'm like, you say it like you have to own these talents. He's like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm like, you just do it. Just do it
Yeah.
to irritate. But it is totally fine, whatever they want to be. When he was
Yeah.
little, he used to tell me he was going to be he would always say, I'm going to be a cleaning lady dude. That's what he would tell me all
Oh,
the time.
yeah. I love it. A cleaning lady dude. Hey, we all need one of those in our house. So, hey, that's right.
There you go.
Yeah.
But so my kids don't, and that's fine. I am very much in favor of them being the people that they are. I feel like I've raised people who can think for themselves, critical thinking. That's what's important to me. I want them to question things. I want them to not do stuff just because the world says you should. And so I feel like that's what they've learned. They've learned that you can create what you want for your life. You can be what you want. I mean, Michael and I, my husband and I, we had regular jobs. We went into offices. I was a school teacher. We did all those things. And then we decided we were ready to create something new and we did. And that's what I want my kids to know. You're not ever stuck to any one thing. You can create what you want to create. You can be what you want to be. And I think that's the legacy that I hope I've left for them in the path that we've chosen for ourselves.
I love that. I love that. So, you following your passion, you've still been able to be the mom that you wanted to be and that you were born to be, right? But at the
Yep.
same time, you were able to teach them some major life skills through owning your own
Mhm.
business.
Yeah, and that's really the legacy I hope I leave them. I mean, obviously there's a financial legacy, there's all other things, but what I really care about is have they learned to live their best life? Have they learned
Yeah.
to really choose for themselves the path that's right for them? And whatever that path is, whether it's being a cashier or inventing the next big technology, like whatever it is, I'm proud of the people that they are as long as they're doing what they want to do and what really makes them happy. I always say if it doesn't make you money or if it doesn't make you happy, don't do it.
Don't do it. So true. Life is short, right? Life is
Yeah.
short. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Amy, thank you so much for being on the show today. We truly appreciate it. We love, love, love learning so many of your amazing insights to the marketing world. Now, if people are like, I want more Amy Hartmann, where can I find her? How do they find you?
So super simple. The best way to find out about all that we are is go to sotruedigital.com. So it's so true altogether, truedigital.com. Everything is there on there. You can connect up with our socials and all of that kind of stuff, find out about real returns there and everything. It's the best place to go to find us.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. And also, all of this will be in the show notes as well. So check out the show notes for more information on working with Amy. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. And as always, until next time, keep dreaming, keep striving, and let's soar beyond the mom life together.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Beyond the Mom Life with Heather Ioerger. If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.